One sec.
All right, so I'm a doctor and I've already said yes to your system. I want to be in your sales program. I want you to get patients for me. I am now talking to the back end side of things, Mr. Titus. And I want to know, what do I need to do at this point? And what are the sales guy has told me some things, but I want to know, I want to jump in. Let's do it. Is there a form I need to fill out?
Okay. So wait, I'm just pretending I'm on basically after a sales call with them explaining everything.
Yeah. So I think they sent me an email, but I don't know. Can you send it to me again so I can get it right now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send you an email that includes a link to our form that we're going to have you fill out. This form will have all of the information we need to get things started and build out your ads, landing pages, and set up your email and text automation system. And once that is ready to go and we receive that, we'll request access to your Facebook account and your Facebook page. And if we have any issues with that later, I can also hop on a call with you to figure that out. Except if I was on a call with them now, I would just do it with them immediately because that's a lot easier to do while you're on a call.
Okay. So this form I got to fill out, is it a long form, short form? I mean, how detailed is it?
Yeah, it's fairly detailed.
You got it where you can pull it up and show me on your screen so I know what to expect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to enable screen share?
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
All right.
All right.
So we'll probably, have to change some of the wording and stuff. But this is basically the form. I probably will actually include 2 little videos on this. One for finding your Facebook ad account ID and sending us and accepting the requests for these. So I'll have videos for those that I'll send for this. And yeah, this is basically the form.
Okay, so that's not real long. Can you go a little slower? I just want to read the questions.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, so name, email, phone number, name of the practice, office hours, website URL, Facebook URL. Yeah, so that'd be good to have a video for those, the account ID. Yeah. All right, have any question, content, or any existing content videos, please link us where to find them. So they might have these on their website, or they might just have them.
So I want to change this a little bit.
Okay.
Honestly, we may remove this question, and what we'll do instead is in the email that we send them, I think it would be better to include a Google Doc that we create. We make it so that they can have access to it, and then we have them upload everything to there. Because it gets very messy when they have videos everywhere. And then sometimes they'll have videos or images and a doc will leave or something and they want to remove them. And it's just hard to keep track of things unless we have one doc that has all their stuff and they can add and remove stuff as needed.
Okay, so this question is going to be taken out of this form and it will be included in the initial email that goes out to them that has this form, but it'll have a link for them to click on to go and put their upload their videos to a Google Doc, which is specific for them, correct?
Yeah, and images as well. Images will be more important to get things up and running.
All right, so images, videos, and maybe some text.
No
documents.
Text. I mean, I don't see anything that they would upload text-wise.
Okay, all right, well, we'll cross that bridge if it changes.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they can upload whatever they want to it, but.
All right. What is your voucher offer? What is that?
So whatever they want their offer, like their starting offer to be.
So free
So
exam.
free exam, teeth whitening, stuff like that. So low value offers that we can get people in the door with that are like between 20 and ideally 20 and $50. It can be higher though, up to 100-ish or more, I guess. But ideally between 20 and $50.
50. That's the sweet spot where they're going to get more people come in the door.
Yeah.
Now I know from listening to some sales calls that there have been some doctors who feel like if they do something for $20, they're cheapening the whole thing. And so the people that the leads that they get are people that can't generally even afford their bigger packages. So they don't like doing that. But the fact is that's not true. Is that what I understand correctly?
Yeah. So one thing a lot of good sales people say on the chiropractic side is they say if somebody needs it, they're going to find a way to do it. So that's one thing. So if somebody actually needs care for something. And then the other thing is we will also be tailoring. It's better for us to tailor that on the ads side of things versus the offer, because the offer is more likely to scare people away if it's above that amount.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's better for us to tailor that on the ads side of things.
Okay. All right. The next question there is, what is the max total budget you want to spend on an ad spend per month? And when the salespeople need to be prepped and ready to prep the doctor for the idea that they need to be willing to spend at least $1,000 a month, preferably $2,000 a month. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. All right. So are there any legal disclaimers needed for your landing pages or ads? All right. So they would have to provide that. Anything else you want to take note of? Are you 100% committed to winning with Facebook marketing like that? Do you understand that Facebook marketing is not a magic bullet and that it is requiring testing, patience, and discipline? All right. But again, these are good questions. However, whoever is introducing them, that sales agent, that client success agent, is already prepping them for the whole idea that what we have works, but the doctor and the staff have to be willing and able to close them on their bigger packages once they get them in the door. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this has happened. The form has come in, and now you're on the back end, so the people that have so the client success agents have a clue of what's going on. How about now if we go through the process of I'm the doctor, I've already given you this form. Now what happens? Okay.
So for the doctor, once everything is all set up and ready to go with the ads, pages, and setting up their account here.
Can I ask one question? Will the agent have access to what we're going to look at right here?
As in the salesperson?
Yes.
Yeah. I can
they will
assign them
have
access. Yeah.
And will there be a benefit for them to be able to see this?
The benefit would be that if they're answering emails, if they know the system and there's something very tiny that they can change, they can quickly just go into custom values and be like, oh, we want to change the doctor's name. So I'll just go in, edit this, change the doctor's name.
Okay.
And they could make quick changes, though you can also just assign that to whatever the other team is. It also makes it so you can't go into their opportunities, and I'm probably going to change these, but and basically see how they're doing, see if they're following the steps we told them to do. So like if all the leads are just still in new leads and they're not moving them through the pipeline, you're not sure if they're calling them and they're not using the system.
Then that would be the time
problem
where that client success agent needs to pick up the phone and say, hey, doc, I see you got a ton of leads in your new lead section. You're not moving them through. What's happening? How can I help?
Yeah. And also when there are leads in here, So we also want them to mark people as lost, abandoned, and won. If they mark them as won, we want to make sure that they also go into the contact and update their lead value, because that's how we are able to track ROI. So if they don't do that, we can't really track ROI.
So this one means that the doctor sold them on a care package for $2,000, something like that.
Yeah. So
And so that $2,000 would go in there as the lead value. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So once that's updated, if you're on the dashboard, it kind of tells you all the stats like
Nice.
closed, open loss, blah, blah, pipeline value, conversion rate, and all that. So if you aren't updating that, we can't track ROI or the stats as well.
Very nice. Very nice.
And it can also cause issues if we want to do specific, what's it called? Reactivation campaigns. Because sometimes you want to be specific and be like, hey, I want to send it to everybody that didn't respond at this time and we marked as abandoned, instead of, and not send it to people that we already closed deals with, you know.
Okay, is that the doctor doing that, or is that us doing that for them?
The reactivation campaign?
Yeah.
That would be something we set up, yeah.
Okay, so we take all those old leads that nothing happened with, and we put them back into like a new sale is coming up. They're going to do, last time they did teeth whitening, now they're going to do a cleaning, and we put that out to all those old leads, as well as keep putting out new leads.
Yeah,
keep putting out ads for new leads.
Honestly, you don't even have to like change the offer price. You can just be like, hey, we're doing a New Year's special. It's better if you do something to the price or to what they get. So you add something to it, and then just be like, hey, we're doing a New Year's deal right now. Come check it out.
Okay. All right. So back to the beginning then. So I'm a new doctor coming on, and you're getting me into the system. Where do we start again?
Yeah, so basically, I would send them a video of me basically walking them through the process of how to use the system. So basically just going over what we talked about with opportunities, moving them through the pipelines, and also keeping track of the conversation section. We can set it up so that they receive a like notification or text when someone replies, but they basically want to keep track of any responses in this section. The unread section will be any replies to stuff. All will also include like messages we send, and we're sending everybody an automated message, so that might not be the best place to look unless you're looking for something specific. But unread will be anything that the client sends to you. And so we want them to keep track of that.
Okay. All right. So what's next?
And that's honestly all the docs have to do. It's just pay attention to opportunities in the conversation section, call new leads, follow up with them, and move them through the pipelines and mark them.
Okay, so what about calendar? If the doctor's got their own calendar, how's that going to integrate with this system?
So it probably will not unless they're using our calendars. If they have their calendar synced with Google, well, no, that would still cause issues on their end unless they had theirs synced with Google in the correct way. But basically, we probably won't be using this unless somebody wants to do where they give us a time frame and we set up a calendar for that time frame. And anyone who schedules is not actually booking an appointment, they're requesting an appointment time. So it may not be available. And so then they need to confirm with the doc.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, somebody who responds to a Facebook ad could use our system. They go in, they say, I would like an appointment on Tuesday, the 27th at 2 p.m. And then the doctor is going to have to look at our system to look at the times that are requested, compare it with his system, put that put that potential patient into his system at 2 p.m. if he has an opening there. If he does not have an opening there, he's going to have to call that patient back and reschedule with them.
Yes, they'll have to call back no matter what, because all of the messaging we're going to say is your appointment is not confirmed until you talk to the office. So no matter what, they have to call anyone who does that still.
Okay, the doctor has to call or the patient has to call?
Either or, they just have to have a conversation.
And when
So
they have that conversation, I'm assuming then it goes into the conversation area or it goes into the opportunities.
it would ideally be through a phone call, so it would not show up anywhere until people move them themselves.
Okay, so if it was a new lead, that test lead, they called in, they set an appointment, booking requested, okay, and then the doctor gets them set in, so they go to booking confirmed. And then once they come in and go through the process, by the end of that, hopefully they have a service lead sold.
Yes, though we're going to change most of these, so it'll basically be new lead contacted.
Good. I like that better.
Yeah, so new lead contacted and scheduled, and then showed is the last one.
Okay.
If we do have the booking requested stuff, we would also add that in as well.
Okay, so it's going to go new lead, contacted, booking.
New lead contacted, scheduled, and showed.
And showed and then sold.
So there is no reason to actually have a sold section, because one is the sold section. So when they're marked as one, they don't show up in the regular thing because it's usually going to be set to open, and they do not show up there.
Okay.
So marking them as one is marking them as sold, and
it still shows up on the dashboard?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, I like that. That's short and sweet.
Yeah, the easier it is, the better. We've learned making big, complicated systems does not work.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I just I lost what I was. Oh, there it is. Okay. Nope. Okay. I got it here. Anything else?
Well, I will also add on, we usually do not want them to, unless they're excited about it, to use the booking requested system, because a lot of the times we've kind of learned that nobody reads anything. So people don't read that their appointment is not confirmed. They don't read anything on the page. They just click a time and they think they're scheduled for that time. And then they come into the office anyway, and then it causes issues and the doctors get upset. So we prefer not to use that option unless the doc wants to use it specifically.
Okay. All right. So anything else that you can think of? Sorry, my phone keeps going off. I need to shut this off here. Anything else you think of that we, as agents wanting to sell a doctor on this program, would need to know?
Yeah, so another option we actually can do with the scheduling is if their EHR system has its own scheduling, we can send people directly to that schedule page.
And that's from the ads, the Facebook ads, as they're clicking through that, if they get through the system, the funnel, to a point of setting up a schedule, it has the option of taking them right into the doctor's scheduling, potentially.
Yes, yeah. So after,
depending on what system they're using.
Yeah, depending on what system they're using, as soon as they send us their information, we can redirect them or give them an option to go to the scheduling page.
Okay.
And then they can schedule there. The only issue with that is that removes some of our automation options. So it basically makes so we can only send the first automated text and email. We don't have too much follow-up for after that anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. But it makes so we basically just send the first email and text and nothing else, because our system doesn't know that they've scheduled. or if they've scheduled. And we don't want to have someone who's scheduled be receiving messages asking them to schedule still.
Right. Okay. Okay. So another thing as a new doctor, what I'm understanding is you're going to make for me kind of a new website. It's going to be a landing page, and the Facebook ads that go out are going to send people to that landing page. But through that landing page process, as they're going through the funnel to when it gets to the point of making an appointment, then it would send them over to the doctor's calendar, ideally, if the doctor has that type of scheduling system, correct?
Yeah, so we will set up pages for them. Some people, we may not actually even use the pages fully, just because there's some new ad techniques that work really well for some people, where we use Facebook lead ads. So it kind of depends on where they're at and the area around them. If lead ads will do better or pages will do better. Lead ads tends to bring in a lot more leads, and pages tend to bring in less leads, but better quality leads. So a lot of it just depends on the area and the doc and their selling style. So we'll probably be testing most options. I think we'll be starting with pages for most people, depending.
Okay.
Or maybe even both, depending on how much ad spend they have.
Okay. All right. So anything else that would be pertinent for this video?
Yeah, I guess for the people to keep in mind when they're selling, the things we do is we're setting up ads for them. We are setting up pages for them, and we're monitoring and setting up this whole system here for them as well. So those are the three like big overarching things that we do. We do other stuff as well, but those are the main things.
And bottom line, okay, so for chiropractors who you've been doing this for years, generally you're bringing in 20, 30 new patients a month. Is that correct?
Yeah, it depends a lot on the area. Like it may be different for somebody in the middle of rural Ohio who is in a small town and has been running ads for years. It may be different. And it also depends on how well the doc can sell. But yeah, I would generally say between 15 and 30 new clients a month.
Okay. So the other thing that obviously this is going to depend on then is dentists in small towns, this might not be for them, correct?
Well, not necessarily. So it also depends a lot on their ability to sell, because we have some chiropractors that are in small areas that are great at selling, great at what they do. And even though they have a really high cost per lead because they're in a small area that's a little bit tapped out, they're just able to like sell anybody that comes in the door, and they're still making profit, and it works great for them.
Okay. So nobody's off the table. It would just have to be explained to the doctor that, hey, you may be, in a little bit more challenging area, but and so here's the thing for the salespeople have the option of giving that doctor the first month for free in order to test it to see if it's actually going to work for them. Correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So the salesperson, the client success agent, we're calling client success agents. Those are the salespeople. So those people have the option of if it's a dentist and they can be closed for the full $2,000 in the first month, then they're going to get half of that. That's going to be their bonus for closing them at a full $2,000 the first month. They'll get $1,000. And then on the second month that they pay, they'll get another $750. Now, and then an additional $200 each month for maintaining that client. So that means basically just clicking through the things you just shared each month, or I mean, hopefully more than that, maybe once a week, just checking up on their clients to see how they're doing, make sure things are moving. If not, they're going to call that doctor and see if there's anything they can do to help to make them successful in the process. So if they get somebody that's maybe in one of these rural areas and they they're iffy about whether this is really going to work for that doctor, they can say, hey, you know what, I'm going to cut you a deal. We're going to give it to you for free the first month so you can see if this is really going to work for you. And we'll set it up. We'll give you the same opportunities that everyone else gets. You will have to still do that $1,000 to $2,000 ad spend in order for this to have a good chance of working, but you can get the first month for free to see if it's going to work. And that's us working our butts off to make it work for you. And they have that option. They could do $500 and they would get half of that. They'd get $250. They could do $1,000. They get half of that. The sales agent is going to get $500 if they close them for $1,000. So there's everything in between from 0 to 2,000 that they can play with in order to close that doctor and get them on as a client. That all good? Correct?
Yeah. Another stat that we'll also be able to see on our end, and we'll potentially also send to clients in like the monthly news or monthly update email or whatever you send. We'll also have like cost per lead, amount of leads, and stuff like that we'll see on the back end.
So on a monthly basis, they will get an update that'll show them all those details. Correct?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if we should send it to everybody, but some clients will request that.
Okay. And that might be a decision made between the client's success agent and the client themselves.
Yeah.
Whether or not they get it monthly or whether they get it at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing that we also want people to keep in mind of is if somebody's doing bad, like on the ads, and we're making changes, we want to let them know that we know that things have dropped off a bit and we're making changes, we're testing new things, just keeping them updated on what we're doing to help them, because that helps them with trust a lot more. It lets them know that we're actually doing something and not just, waiting until they complain and then
so the sales and the sales copy, or the ads and the ad copy, that's coming from the back end, from us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you may be playing with it to try to get better results and so forth. And okay, all right. How much does the doctor have to say in how their ads look and run?
Yeah, so before we make anything live, we send everything over to, so once we get everything all set up, we send everything over to the doc to review it, so they can make sure that it aligns with their business and doesn't have anything that they don't want to say, because sometimes they can be, at least with chiropractors, they can be really particular about like saying client or patient or just little things like that. Or they just want to maybe edit the copy a tiny bit to fit more with their like their not image or brand, but the faith of their image or brand, if that makes sense. I forgot the word for that. And just any other changes like that, so we can make sure that it looks good and it's something that the client's happy with before we make it live, and then we'll make it live from there.
Okay. All right. Anything else that the client success agent should know? We're going to start calling them CSAs. That's going to be easier.
Yeah.
Client success agent. Anything else that the CSAs should know?
We will also have Slack, Front, and probably ClickUp or Asana. ClickUp and Asana will be used so that if a client does have anything they want to change or any complaints or just anything we need to do, you can assign tasks out to the tech team. And also Slack, which is great for just sending messages as well. I always recommend create a task and then message them in Slack so they know that it is there, because sometimes things get lost and you want to make sure you have multiple places that you're letting people know of things. And then Front is used for emailing. It's a great system where like you can easily share emails with team members, have conversations with team members inside of the emails without like sending to the clients. And it just makes things a lot easier for team email systems.
Okay. What about reputation? I see that as one of the slots there. what does that do? How does that work?
Yeah, so this is basically for people asking for reviews in like Google or Facebook. So if somebody has a client that is doing really well, their front desk could be like, hey, we're glad that we were able to help you with this. If you'd like, we'd love it if you could leave a review. And you can send a review request. So basically, the review request is going to be like a I think they've moved stuff around recently, so I'll have to find exactly where that is. But it's like a template you can send out, so then the doc or front desk can be ask them about it, send them a review request, put in their name, and select the person, and then send them an invite. If they have it connected, they can also view their reviews directly here. So if they connect to Google and Facebook, they can see their Google and Facebook reviews, reply to them, comment on them, and stuff like that.
Okay, so that would be really good. And that's something that the client success agent could help with, but it would really should be up to the doctor and the staff to respond to those, correct?
Yeah. In the past, we have people that do very well using this, but a lot of times people just don't like extra stuff.
Yeah, but reviews are so important these days. I look for reviews before I look for an address usually.
Yeah. So it's a great tool if the docs want to use them.
Yeah. Okay.
And also that also brings to mind in the conversation section, it can also include their Facebook and Instagram messages, so they can have all of those in one spot that they can reply to them. Some people don't like mixing everything together, and other people love having it all in one spot. So it kind of just depends.
Yeah. So ideally, if the CSA could actually convince the doctor to use our system, it's going to go much smoother for them onboarding new patients. Now, once they're in there, they probably have their own system for taking care of that patient. But it seems like this would be the best route to get them in the door, and then they switch them over into their system once they have them in the office. Is that correct?
Yeah. Ideally, if they use us for scheduling, so they'll be using us no matter what, just for emails and opportunities and stuff like that. But if we can get them to switch to using our calendar system, having self-scheduling is a great way to get people to come in, like to raise the rate of that.
Yeah, any idea what the percentage of more people getting appointments is when they can make their own appointment?
I think it was like 40% of people self-schedule, which is pretty good when you're like having to call them and get them to schedule.
Wow. Okay. Okay, that's good. Anything else?
Not exactly. Most of it, the rest of the stuff will be on the tech side, like editing automations and the website and connecting everything.
Yeah, which the CSA wouldn't be doing, and that'd be the tech team on the backside, right?
Yeah, the one thing the CSA can do is if there's like a really quick change, the doc is like, hey, our CA's name is different now. Or sorry, we have a different front desk. We need to change the name because there'll be a couple more new things here for the front desk. Because it's nice to have the front desk person's name to put on any of the emails, because it makes it seem more personable when it's just somebody's name instead of talking like you're from the team or the doctor. And so if they need to change the name of the front desk person, you can just go to settings, custom values, and then it'll be in here. You change it here and it'll change it everywhere else in the system.
Okay.
So small things like that, or changing the email, or anything like that.
All right. Sounds good. I think that gives a little bit better understanding of things, and we'll probably do another one of these. We'll get another person or two who's looking to be a CSA, and all of us ask questions to get down to the nuts and bolts of how all this works. Okay, thank you very much.
All right.